owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com. But we're not here to talk about the website. We're not here to talk about me selling jewelry. What we're here to talk about is the bead community that we're all a part of. And that is here. And we just call it Carol Jo's, in all honesty. And it's really truly about uplifting each other, about sharing things with each other, and we do that during our chat times. We also go live twice a week. Hi, Maria, with tutorials. So I end up showing you guys how to create certain jewelry and hopefully start sparking some interest into doing something with it. Hi, Rachel. We also do sales throughout the week. And this week, I think I have like 4 or 5. We're going to take Thursday night off. As a family, we've decided Thursday nights are going to be our family night. And then because, hi Gladys, this week is Halloween on Friday. So we are taking Buttercup trick-or-treating on Friday. So I will not be live on Friday night either. So we're going to take a couple of nights off this week and we're just going to have a casual week. I will let you know, Wednesdays, 12 o'clock tutorial. I do need to change the time for that. Thank you for that, Heart Me, Rachel. I had a friend of mine that she had a family member pass away, and I am going to be attending the funeral on Wednesday, and it's going to be around the same time as the live. So I will be doing the live later on Wednesday. I just got to figure out logistics about the time, because I just figured that out like about an hour before we're going live. So I mean, I knew it was a possibility. I was just going to announce at the beginning I may change something. But about an hour ago, we figured out when the services and all the things with the funeral are going to be. And so I do need to make an adjustment. So I will post a new video with the new time on it sometime today, just to let y'all know. Now, as always, with every live, if we can have 10 shares, which I think we're already there. I can't see the number right now, but we've got that, and 10,000 likes, I will start doing giveaways. And I didn't put new beads in the bead soup, and we're almost out. So it might be a good time to like away. How's that for an idea? But like we do every Monday when we have chat time, which is what we have going on here right now is chat time, we talk about the social media post that I put out there for the day, and it's Motivational Monday. The quote that we have this week is, now I gotta remember, do it with passion or not at all. And it sounds kind of harsh when you hear those words together. But what I want you to take a step back and think about it. Some days, it just takes a little bit of a spark and everything is just flying and you're creating. Hello to everybody. Whoop. That's funny. She normally goes and looks to see if I'm live. Now that I sent her, she'll probably be hopping in. So normally, like if the spark comes, everything just goes into its place. And then there are some times where we just don't have that passion, but we're like, I need to make something. I just need to do it. And so I've always said that, just make one thing and see if it goes. Because usually what happens, and if you guys can tell me, yep, Taco Tuesday's tomorrow. Once you start making one thing, sometimes it just, beads just move around on your table and you're like, okay, I got it. And you go. And that's where that passion comes into play. But if it's not there, you made a bracelet or a necklace. Oh, hold on. She's here. I'll be right back, everybody. Okay, I'm back. All right, now I gotta go back. I do not have my backup account up. She's like, as y'all know, it's my sister, but she's not outside right this second. So the door is open. Oh, that was funny. I hear her now. So anyways, my sister and I look a lot alike, I think. I don't know. Hello, everybody over on YouTube. All right. So anyways, we were talking about our quote, and it's like, sometimes, and it happens to all of us. The passion is there or the passion isn't there. And there's no other words for it. And sometimes when it's not there, the best thing to do, I saw someone put it out as a comment out on the post on one of the social medias, they have to walk away at that point, which is true. Rather than getting so frustrated with what you're doing and what you're working on, if the passion isn't there in that instance, after you tried it for a few minutes, walk away. It will come back. We all have times where creativity takes a back seat and we don't have it. And we all have different things that help us. For me personally, that's why I keep offering that suggestion is that if I make a bracelet, sometimes it will just start and things just keep flowing. So for me, it really is just taking something simple. But because I'm taking something simple, I'm grabbing beads as I'm doing it. And that's why I say start. But if after one bracelet, it's not there, I actually just walk away and I'll get back to it later. I will have time later to do it. I'll work on something else for the business. You know, when I used to do shows all the time, I would be like, okay, not happening. And Ryan would be like, why aren't you working? And I am like, I'm doing something else and I'll get there. There for a while, he was like, all are you doing is sorting beads? And I'm like, I'm looking at beads to see if something just sparks. So there are ways to help nudge it and get that spark going and get that passion flowing. And you know what I have to do? Task paralysis. That paralysis is normal. And what I have to do, and I notice it now while trying to run the business, I have to stop myself, write down what that is, what's running in my mind. I have no other way to say it than what's running in my mind. And then that way it will stop and I know I can come back to it later because I wrote it down. If I don't write it down, I will forget about it. And then I sit there and spend more time dwelling on it so I don't forget it when I shouldn't. Hey.
Can I come on?
Yeah, there's someone was asking. This is my sister Jeannie. So there she is.
Hi, guys. Thanks for letting me interrupt you guys.
I just had started. Hey, stop right here. That's your stuff.
Oh, I owe you money, too.
No, you don't. I told you I was going to buy it.
Oh.
Yeah, I want you to see it because I never took it out. Sorry, I bought some shirts. And one of them I didn't like, so I'm giving it to her. Aren't I a nice sister? And then another one is for her.
Oh, my gosh.
It says, adventure is out there, but then again, so are serial unalivers. I can't say that word.
Love it.
So.
I have a horse in a trailer.
Oh, you were coming from the vet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I went out there. I'm like, she's not here.
I'm coming.
Well, I was on live already.
Okay, I'll let you be.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Did everything go okay with Lady?
She's got asthma and I have to do nub treatments on her.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Steroid.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's that? All right. Just pull the door shut and it should lock, okay?
Okay.
All right. Yep. Bye. Hi, Murda. Yep, my sister has 2 horses. She has Lady and Meadow. I'm like, I have to stop and think about the name. So yeah, so she has always in her entire life wanted to have a horse, and they about not quite 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I think it is, they moved out into an acreage so that she can get there. And she did that like 2 years ago. Lady was her first horse. And then she's now got Meadow. So yeah, so she's fulfilling her checklist of things to do that she wants to do in her life. And so her horse has asthma. She was taking the horse to the vet. So my sister has a lot of inside animals and she has a lot of outside animals. My sister is a huge animal lover. Inside they have their dogs that they have. They have a Pomeranian, a I can't remember what Fiona is. And then they have Rottweilers and then a German Shepherd and cats. And then outside they have chickens and ducks and more. They have cats that are outside cats. And then she has her horses. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something. But yes. So Buttercup really loves to go to her house and spend time with her. I cannot. Last time I rode a horse, I was in high school. I'm scared of heights. And even being on a horse is not good for me. I get anxiety about being up off the ground, that the horse feels it, and then it's not a good situation to be in. So I just don't even get on horses anymore. I've learned not for me. She does it. Yeah. And I was going to say, I had a friend that does barrel racing events, and I'm just amazed at what you have to go through to be a barrel racer. But her horses are just to ride and have fun and to take care of and to love. For my sister, it's more about loving on them than anything. That's who she is. But lady hasn't been breathing right, so they took her to the vet. So that's what she does. So yep, I'm not a drawer either. Buttercup is. Now we're learning all kinds of fun things about each other here. That's what our chats are about. It's about us getting to know our community and just being able to grow and be excited about things that happen. So I haven't seen Patty on here, and I know someone else. I cannot for the life of me now remember, because that was Saturday, and sometimes I don't remember everything. But you guys had shows. So did anybody have any shows this weekend, and can let us know? How did it go? I know one thing about Patty's show, because she had posted it. But that was that she had taken the paperclip bracelet chains that we had sold recently, and she had taken beads with it and created the cha-cha type bracelet that we've had in the past, and she sold it. So I'm excited, and kudos to her for selling it, because that's one of the things I've always wondered about. Is I love those bracelets, but they take a lot of time and energy. And so I have never made one to sell. I always make them for gifts, or I make them for me, but I never made one to sell. But I never thought about, you should just put it out there. It's kind of like, we talk about you just should do it. Yeah. I need to just do it. So I was just going to wonder, what else did you guys work on this weekend? Any big projects? I didn't work on hardly anything. Okay. And that makes a difference. But at least, CC, you know what your market is. Oh, no. Are you doing okay? Or are you just visiting someone? Or what's going on, Teresa? Ooh, that would be nice, Donna. Oh, I can tell you all about it. I can do that. I was gonna say I'm not always doing all of the out. So what Ashley does for to help me is that when we come into the live, if you notice, Ashley sends out a lot of lives. If she is like connected with you, she can invite you to come to the live. And she's, as long as she's connecting with all of you, she sends out a whole list to everybody. So Robin, maybe, I don't know, Ashley, can you grab her if you're not already? So, yep, Ashley is amazing. She is. I'm like, I wouldn't be here any successful if I didn't have her helping me out. I can tell you that. Um, okay. Thank you. And as I say, knowing your market is like one, or who your customers are, your target market, that is one of the biggest things. And that was the hardest thing for me to figure out. So, Cece, for you for figuring that out, I'm amazed because it took me many years. And it took me actually talking with somebody to finally get who my target market is. Guess what? We don't call them big fingers. Everybody just says they're fluffy. But Buttercup's tournament, I literally, everybody, I had a couple of messages I sent on Saturday to reply to people because I didn't want to leave you hanging for a while and then that causing any type of so I will tell you, I did message a couple of people on Saturday, and that was all I did on Saturday. I did zero invoicing. I did zero prep for anything. I took the day off. Oh, I think I have a little that would love that. In fact, I know. So yeah, so for me, I unplugged from the business for a day, which I don't normally do a whole lot, as you guys know. I'm usually doing something every day. So I got to tell you about two. That was like, to me, that was a win to be able to do that and not feel guilty. And I didn't feel guilty. So I'm very grateful about that. Um, I know it sounds really silly, but we always, as women, usually feel guilty about not doing something and not being there. And I just had to tell myself it was okay. And all day I'm like, it's okay, you're fine. And it was. At the end of the day, it was fine. Oh, we'll keep you in our prayer, in my prayers, okay, Teresa? So, and you just come on in to get to get away if you can, if you need a distraction. That's what we told the other Teresa. We're her distraction. So Buttercup's tournament. I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail because proud grandma Oma. So first she had two matches for sure on that. I mean, we knew we were gonna have two. So the first one, and they play 3 sets. So the first match, first set, it was 26-24 and they won. And it was ecstatically like, because it kept going back and forth. And we're like, isn't it? Who's going to win? I mean, it was a very good, even match. Second set, I looked at Ryan and I'm like, is our coach ever going to call a timeout? It was literally 21-0 before we scored a point in the second set. And Ryan and I are on the sidelines going, it's okay. Just brush it off. You guys are going to be okay. And Buttercup scored a point. And we're like, okay, it's not going to be a complete blowout. She got us a point. And ultimately, they lost that one 25-3. And Buttercup had 2 of the 3 points. So we're all like, oh, this is not going to be good now. Literally, we're all, the parents are all stressing out. Grandparents are stressing out because the grandparents of these kids also were there too. And I'm like, oh. And then the team just came together and just whooped the third set. I have no other words to say than they whooped it. And I was like, oh. So they won that match. So then they got to go to the championship round. And in that one, they have played that team before. And in the last time, it wasn't, it was closer this time than it was last time. This is the one team that they haven't been able to beat. But as we were walking, as Buttercup was walking off of the court so we could go to the other court that we needed to play the championship game, Ryan just sat there and said her name, and this is your job. This is your job when you're playing. And the court we were on actually had lines in it in the way that they had it set up that each of the girls had their own square. And he's like, that whole square is for you to work in, not just the place where you're standing. He's like, you got to think about the whole square. And you also have to think about if the person in a square next to you some way, somehow needs your help, you have to run to help them. That's all he said to her. Literally all he said. He's like, just go do your job, defend your square, and defend and help your your teammates. And let me tell you, that's all she needed. And she played awesome in that they only had 2 sets in that second match. They did end up losing and got second place overall. But the improvement from the first match to the second match was like a night and day kid. All she needed was to be told, this is what your job is. And she did it. She wasn't upset or anything, about losing. And I don't think he would not be a good coach because he F-bombs too much. But we have also, we went and sat back and thought about it with his daughter. My daughter played volleyball for a few years, and then his daughter started playing when my daughter stopped. Is literally, so we've been doing volleyball and we've only had the last 2 years off from volleyball for years. I don't know how else to say it than years. I mean, we're talking from the early, I would say 2009, 2010 till we've had 2 years off and now we're in with her. So yes, we are just amazed at how well they all played together, how well they did. The way that this team came together, because you have to understand, 2 girls do not go to school with all the other girls on this team. There's a total of 9, and 2 of them, they could have just alienated the 2 in a way, because they're not in there. But nope, everybody was gracious. Everybody was just so kind to each other. And you could tell there's girls that played together at the school these girls go to, and there's some that don't. But they all got along and they all were uplifting each other. And that is like what you need to see. So then we get done, we take pictures, we leave. And then Buttercup goes, I left my Stanley. And I'm like, no. Because you have to understand, this is a Stanley. It's not like a knockoff. This is her Stanley Cup. So I'm like, okay. And she's so funny. She's like, Opa, whip around and go get it. And we're on a busy street. He can't just whip around. She just thought he was going to do a U-turn and go back and get her Stanley. It was kind of funny in the car. I'm like, so we finally get to turn around. We went back. We went inside. Her and I went inside. I found where it was at. I picked it up. Now we're walking out for the second time. Thank you, Cece. And one of the best player on that other team, and you have to understand, this girl is an amazing player. And someone Buttercup knows this girl. This girl spends 3 hours a day practicing every day for volleyball. It's like her thing. She can serve it to a place that she knows it needs to go. She can hit it in a place that she knows it needs to go. She makes very few errors in her first year playing volleyball. And so when this girl walked up to her as we were walking out, and she just walked up and she ran up to Buttercup and was like, "Hey, you played amazing against us today. Good job." I was just like, holy crap. Because to see that kind of sportsmanship, she did not have to say that. She didn't have to come and, do that. But this girl is just like, just very, very kind person. And I'm like, wow, she noticed how well she played. And it was just like, it was really cool to see. And what happens from what we're being told is if we keep Buttercup in this league that it is, because it's not a school league, it's like a different type of league, um like a club league type thing. You play with the same girls and work your way up, like it, for the next 3 years this set of group of girls will all play together. But then after next year they then start trying out for like winter and spring teams, and that is a tryout, and they have 3 different levels of that. And I looked at Ryan and I'm like, are we ready for that? I thought we keep saying I thought I was done. We thought we were done, but we might have to. I don't know what'll happen. And the 3 levels are you either stay locally, and so you will play other teams within this network, or you'll play regionally, and regionals takes you throughout the Midwest, or you play nationally. You don't go nationally like far away at her age, but as they work their way up, you do go all over. And they do a lot, a lot of traveling. And I'm like, we'll see what happens. We'll see how much. I mean, she's already talking about she's signing up again. She wants to do both volleyball in her school and here. So I was going to say, Ashley, you probably know what league I'm talking about. It's associated with the hospital name. So yeah, and it's a big deal to like go up. And I don't know where she will fall at, in all honesty, but these girls, some of them are just really, really good. Okay, I figured you'd know. So it's a big deal here in Sioux Falls for this and in other locations, because this sports thing is in like 3 or 4 different towns now. I didn't realize how many towns they have. And so when I say regionally, it's you go to these other town or cities that have the same thing, and you go to tournaments and stuff. So this could turn into a big thing for her. But the day she says she wants to be done, I will honestly say we finish out the season and respect her wishes. But she has never walked away from a practice or a game and ever said, I don't want to finish it. She has never done that. So if those of you who've had kids, grandkids, you know what I'm talking about when the kids are like, I don't want to do that anymore partway through a season, and you're just like, you have to finish it out. At least that's the rule in our house. You have to finish it, and you have to give it your all. You can't just come in, sorry, I'm going to swear. You can't half-ass it for the rest of the year. You have to finish it hard. So we'll see what happens. But yes, that was Buttercup's volleyball. It was a lot of emotions. And you would think with 4th graders, you wouldn't have that much emotions. But let me tell you, the mom sat and watched the girls while the dads went to the other game to figure out who we were playing so that we could start strategy. And I'm thinking, they're 4th graders. I'm like, it's already starting, everybody. I just sat there going, and Ryan and I were staying on her court, and we were like cheering and stuff. It was pretty funny. And then I said to her, I go, could you hear us cheering? She goes, I heard Opa. I'm like, did you hear me? She's like, nope, you weren't loud enough, but we all heard Opa. And I'm like, oh dear Lord. So yes, my husband's a little loud at these things. So yeah, that would be what we did. But I also wanted to tell you guys, business-wise, remember I talked about that I was going to just start scanning your baskets instead of laying everything out? Um, Somehow or another, I still got one item, but I went for how many, this is where I'm impressed with how much this change affected everything. So not last week, but the week before, we all talked about how I actually had 60 invoices to do on Saturday and Sunday. And I started it Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, like mid-afternoon Saturday. It took me all night Saturday night, and I went into the next day. Nope, that's a different thing. I'll tell you about that in just a second, Lori. So then it went to the next day, and I was doing it from like 7 a.m. until like 9 p.m. So that's like 14 hours plus the hours I had. So I probably, for 60 orders, it took me roughly 20 hours to invoice. This weekend, I had 57 invoices, and I got it done and got everybody's package. Excuse me, anybody who paid throughout the day. If you guys noticed yesterday when you were paying, usually shortly after that, I was doing your packaging up. It took me 11 hours. Hello, Max. Hi, Val. You missed Auntie. She was just here. So, and when I did that other day, I couldn't do packaging until the next day. So to be able to get the packaging done and invoicing done by making the change that I asked you if you guys would be okay with, it very much helped me out. So I want to say thank you for letting me make that change. So for the large paper, I have been trying to figure out, I have not wanted to use an inkjet printer to have the full page for your guys' invoices because ink cartridges are so expensive. So I'm trying to figure out how to do the paper on 8x10 paper with a thermal printer. And I bought a printer that will accept 8.5 wide paper. And I did it with the sheets. I bought sheets of paper, and what I'm finding is I'm having a hard time getting the length of the paper correct. So if you notice, they're not perfect yet. But what I think I'm going to do going forward is you can buy continuous roll paper. And so I think what I'm going to do is use the continuous roll and just print them out and then just fold it up and put it in your boxes. I didn't think that would be a big deal. I hope you guys are okay with that. Oh, so I had one change. I've implemented a couple of changes recently. One of the implementations is that I am just invoicing at your baskets. It used to be that I would go and put all of your items down on my desk and sort and put like items together. And that takes a lot of time to get all of your items together. The reason being is that I was manually, when I was packing your boxes, matching up what was in your invoice versus what was what was scanned. Okay? And I would miss things, and it just took a lot of time for packaging. So what I'm doing is I'm just scanning out of your baskets, and then when you guys pay, I then take what you've paid and I just scan and put it in the box as I go. And I have a system that will tell me if I'm missing anything, if I've gotten anything, or do I have extra in there that I didn't scan before. And then I can adjust things as needed. So let's say there was one the week before when I was doing it on the packaging side that I did. And there were 2 items where I scanned 2 of one and not 1 of another. They were the same price. So I can go in and I can change the quantities of those and get your printed invoice correct and then go on. If your invoice if I overcharged you, I can adjust your invoice and do that. Hi, Mia. If I undercharged you, I cannot do that because I can't fix it and get you a corrected one. So I'm writing handwritten notes on those. And if I've made the error, then you know what? I will eat the difference and I don't have a problem with that. So just to let you know, and then you will get an email with the credit. If I've overcharged you, you will get the credit, a store credit. And when you check out, it'll ask you if you want to use your credit and then you can use it. So that's one change that we made. And by making that change of me not sorting everything out, cut back not quite 10 hours, but I also packaged in that time frame. So the thing I want you to understand is that in an 11-hour day yesterday, I got 57 invoices done and I had 16 packages that I packaged up and got done. Whereas before, 60 invoices took me 20 hours, and it would probably been another 2 or 3 hours at least on packaging that many packages. So it's an amazing change. And I wanted to say thank you for letting me make that change. What it means is if you get a bigger order, things may be in different boxes, that type of thing, if you're one that matches your invoice to it. Yep, and it's really, truly, I just take it out of your basket, I scan it, and you just hear the click that yes, or the noise that yes, it worked. It's like a ding, and if it didn't, it goes bonk. So it's a ding and a bonk. And if it's a bonk, then you have to sit there and go, okay, what happened? And what I do is I set the bonks aside for a moment, and I get through the whole basket. And then I go back and I look at the bonks. Sometimes it's just that I scanned 2 items too quickly, and then I scan it and it goes in there and we're good. Or like in the one case that I had, yep, a ding and a bonk. And the one that I had, I figured out I didn't do I should have only had 1 of one item and 2 of another, or should have been 1 and 1, or I can't remember exactly, but I wrote a note on whose order that was. And ultimately, we're talking about, it was not even $1 difference in what it was. And the thing is that, you know what? It is not worth the time and energy to be like, let me get that all and did it. I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to just eat it and we're going to move on. It's part of doing business. And so I don't want anybody to think go ahead and charge me. I will never charge you for that. But if I overcharge you, you're going to get that credit. Okay. But when I went through that process, I was like, okay. And I personally did not feel drained at the end of the invoicing. Sunday invoicing days, when I'm done, I literally am mentally drained. And it's because you have to sit there and go, okay, I got to match this up, match this up, match this up, match this up. And I didn't have that. I could just sit there and go, ding, because when I scan, it dings every time I scan to make sure. You want to listen for that to make sure it worked. And it also bonks if it didn't read it. I know a lot of people are like, the box is Christmas. And you have to understand, I also got 5 boxes of new beads in, everybody. There's a lot of glass in this order. There was a lot. So how I purchase beads is that, my silicone supplier, they don't run specials. You just get the silicone, you pay what it is. You can ask for a discount. If you're going to get a discount, it's up to them. And so every once in a while, they will give me an extra 10% off, but it's very rare. So, but my pen supplier, never a discount there, ever. Some of my other bead suppliers very rarely have discounts, very rarely have sales. Of all things, they don't do sales very often. I don't know why. But one of my wholesalers does sales. And so when they do a sale, they will like email you and tell you what the sale is. And yeah, I'm a small person to some of these people, let me tell you. I'm like, I get it. Some people buy a lot more than I do. But one of my wholesalers will send me an email and say, hey, we're having a sale on this type of bead. It just so happened they had a really huge um, glass bead sale going on. And so I stocked up on glass beads. But then the next sale, it might be metal beads, or it might be natural beads, or it might be chain, or it might be components, finding, all that type of stuff. They change throughout the year. And so I've learned with them, stock up when things are on sale so that I can get you guys better prices. And that's how I do a lot of it, to keep the prices as low as I can possibly get it. But there are times that I need something that I don't get it on sale. And I'm just like, okay, suck it up. Like, darn it. But then it is what it is. It's part of doing business. Just like for me, tonight we're going to have the new name, Superfan Night, instead of Subscriber Night. We're going to have Superfan Night tonight. That's the night that I do the sale. On the last Monday of the month, whatever items I'm going, I give you guys a discount on. I don't usually discount throughout the rest of the month. And it's just because I want to try to keep the prices as lowest as possible so that you guys all come all the time and you don't have to just wait for a sale. If you want something and it's in your budget, you can buy it then. Literally, that's how my thought process is. But golly gee willikers, that Kohl's sale, when you can get 40% off, I'm always like, right, we got to go to Kohl's. They might have something there that I can get on sale with my 40% discount. So I get the sale mentality. I just don't do it here as often. But we do have subscriber night tonight. I am bringing spring, summer 26 colors, everybody. That was what I got in with those 5 boxes, was some spring and summer colors. Thank you, Donna. I literally sit here and I spend time sourcing. You guys can laugh at me and think, where does she find the time to source? You know when I do it? Yes, I usually do a Black Friday sale. That is my biggest sale of the year. Thank you. And I was trying to think what we're going to do for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. Because last year, hold on just a second. Yeah, I do a sale then. We do lots and lots of giveaways too. Last year, I did not have Buttercup over that weekend as much as I do right now. And I'm like, God dang, how do I do 2 long days like that? Yep, it was Dr. Pepper time. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly don't. I've been thinking about it because I need to start planning. I usually plan the whole month of like November and October. Like before November starts, at the end, like this week, I'm planning like what days I want to go live, what we're going to have, what kind of tutorials do I want to kind of do. I might not have it all 100% laid out, but I have a good idea. I know like this Saturday we'll do charms, or, like we did cabochons last month, all of that. I have those thoughts in my mind already. And I've already started thinking about November and what we're going to do for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. I don't know that I can go as long as I have in the past, is the only thing I'm thinking. There's something coming up with the pens, Miss Mia. Yep, I got something coming up. I'll tell you that. They're all sorted and in their containers. Ryan and I need to put the shelf together. We're talking about doing that tonight, and then I can show you how we're organizing pens. That might be something we can talk about on Wednesday night's chat night if we get it done. It's all about, can we get it done? So I know it sounds like, oh, just put up a shelf, it should be easy. But the thing is that in this room, we actually put a mattress and a bed frame that in a room that I've been using for my beads. And we need to get that out of that room so that I can start putting the shelves up in there because I can't get up against a wall. So I need Ryan's help. I asked him this weekend to help me. It didn't happen, but he said tonight. Cross everything. I'll know more before the live tonight if that happened or not. Because it's got to happen between when he gets home from work and when I go live. Unless he works on it while I'm live. Which I don't know if he would do. But yeah, so that's what we got going on there with pens. But they'll be coming up and I'll tell you what we're doing with them. Then, excuse me. So am I. I've been waiting. I've had them for almost a month now because I got them on October 2nd. I've got the little bins filled. They're sitting in my living room floor. I have pens all over my living room floor. Because you have to understand, when you order pens, I ordered like, I'm trying to remember how many did I order. Why I can't remember the number, I don't know. I think it was 4,000. Yes, it was. We ordered 4,000 this time. I did not order the ones that were like the gradient where you went from like one color and different colors down to a different color. I did not order those. We have the metallic ones, we have the solid color ones, and we have glitter. So there are 80 different, not 80, there's probably about 75 different colors because I ordered extra of some of the most popular ones. But yes, we got 50 pens of each color that I ordered, and I think I ordered 75 colors, but we have 80 boxes is what we got. So yes, that's a lot. Yes, because when you get them, they are in these nice little boxes and they stack all good together. You'll get there, Teresa. You'll get there someday. So yes, so that's what we're going to work on. I have 2 of those shelving units and it seems like it. But you have to understand, Buttercup and I made getting all the pens ready in the containers a game. This one is my favorite chain. It's, do I have it over here? Heck no. Where did my favorite chain go to? Oh, it's right here. It's this one. This is the chain. It's 6 by 4 by 1 millimeter. And, oh no, this one is not. That's not the same one. This one is, I'm looking at it. This is like, yeah, this is the paper chain mail. I'm like, whoo. I have it in my next order because right now I'm putting together an order and chain is on sale. So I'm ordering more chain, but I have some chain that we still need to do. So yeah, this one is chain, paper chain. So yes, so it won't be here. I'll probably put this order in. What I think I want to do now, instead of ordering like 5 boxes at once, this leaf is still on back order. I just checked it this last week. I'm trying to get it in. So I've got it saved in my, in where I can look it up every time with that supplier. And as soon as I get them in, I will bring some. What I want to do is place try to place an order every week based upon sales of the last week type scenario. So what I'm saying is that if I sold X amount, I know that the wholesale cost of those beads is this amount, and I'm going to take that amount and reinvest it back into more beads and just do that every week so that every week I can get an order in rather than like once a month getting like 5 or 6 boxes, that I will get a box a week. Yep. Necklaces are a fall thing right now. It is very, very on trend with why you're selling a lot of necklaces is that fall and winter is the trend for necklaces right now. Bracelets are not on trend as much for this winter. They are there, just not as much as the necklaces are. And if you noticed, when we did a lot of the trends for that fall winter time frame, you guys saw I didn't redirect you guys to, okay, I got a restriction because I told you guys to go outside to purchase stuff. Yep. Ow. I am going to, I wonder if I can do that. I can't probably do it when I'm live. I'm going to ask them to like review that and go, what the heck? And now we're going to, it says some comments are filtered. Really? Yeah. They're going a little bit overboard. And it's driving me nuts. Just breathe. Hey, if you guys can get 2.2 likes in the next like 7 minutes. Friday night tested my patience. It gets hard to remember what you can and cannot say. It is very, very difficult. And I'm not even selling anything here. We're just talking, which is part of what they want us to do. That's what frustrates me. It's like, this is what TikTok lives were invented for. So after the live, there's a way you can go in and request them to review it. And I'll do that. And then if you do lives, there's a way that you can join agencies that they can help you with restrictions and when you get bananaed. And I do have an agency. And so I actually did reach out to them on Friday night and I'm waiting for a reply back. So yeah, do you win them? Not always, but you can just say, hey, really? Get it off your chest, vent, and move on. So yes, that's part of why you guys are going to see the polls up. I have to really watch my intro when we're doing that. And if you noticed, if you were on right away, the intro was done completely different today. When we have the selling days, that one. Yep. Yeah, and that's what you can dispute, is that their bots misheard what you were saying. And they're just looking for keywords. And sometimes those keywords, if you use it in a sentence a certain way, and it could have been me saying the word selling. You know what? You have the right to say you sold something outside of, because to them, it's a restriction if I'm selling something on TikTok and I redirected them somewhere. But we weren't talking about that. We were talking about someone making a comment about what they were selling. And that's where I said, okay, that's the trend. There's a difference in content about what we're talking about, and the bots don't always catch it. And it's really hard. And there are places that you can go to every day to listen to what you should and shouldn't say. Oh, don't be sorry, Donna. It's not your fault. It's a bot that caught it. And the thing is that they need to not be so harsh on us while we're talking. I get that they should, but yep. And you know what? I use AI every day in my business. So I don't want to say AI is something we shouldn't use, or bots or something, because AI is something that, if used correctly, can be a game changer for a business. But do I let AI create my videos? That's a oh heck no. So if you notice, today's Motivational Monday video, the background was different, the way that it all came in. I actually used, because I can't say the software, because the software isn't owned by TikTok. But I used a software where I had AI tell me step by step how I should do it, because I don't know these softwares and how they're supposed to be done, but I could have AI tell me how to do it. Is it the best looking video out there? Heck no. But it's a start. And that's what you need to do, is to start to be able to create your content, and then you'll be able to do different things with it. That's what I'll say about that, because it's cool. But am I going to use the creator of videos that TikTok uses? Mm-mm. And the reason why is that those videos are only proportioned for TikTok, and I need to be able to post a video on different social medias. And I personally won't have the time to create the video through all of them. Yep. And so, yep. And you don't have to use what AI gave you 100%. And I will tell you that. I will get things from it. And it was so funny because everybody talks about you can have AI generate your videos and it's fine. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. I tried it yesterday. Last night, Ryan was probably like, would you put the business down? Because he wanted to watch a football game with me. Oh, yay, we did it. Cool. Thank you, Teresa, for letting me know. And he's like, I'm like, I am trying to work on figuring out a video here. And I said, I will get this. Oh, Lordy, you know what I did with my list of words? I think I put them in with my sold items. Well, shnikey butts. I'll get my colors here. I cleared off everything off of my table, and I thought they were all like sold out items. I found them. I'm like, oh no, here we go. We're going to do that. Was funny. Yep. If I could find a different app, I sure would, because it's getting harder and harder. I don't think I've used this word before, but I will tell you guys right now, I'll give you a clue. I have said it before when we've talked about colors of beads, when we're on our beads show. We're gonna have to come up with fun code words, because if you ever noticed, the title for the Friday night sales and Tuesday nights is beads. There's a reason, and that's the reason. I was like gonna say, oh, I can show you. I'm gonna show it to you guys. It can be a different name for this color. See if you guys. We are gonna have citrine tonight. I think it's 8mm round citrine. Nobody's gonna get it. Somebody had part of it. It's like two words meshed together for one. It was goldenrod. Nobody got it. Okay, we're going to do another one. All right, let's do this color. We're going to give you an easy one. See who got it. couple of you got it. Ducky got it first. The color was blue, and then Rachel got it second. All right, Miss Ducky. I will take $5 off of your invoice if it's still open. If it is not open, I cannot remember everybody's open emails or invoices, sorry. If it's not, I will put it on my spreadsheet so that you can get it for next time, okay? All it takes, Rachel, is one time. I like how I said to you guys, get that in like this, and you guys went way above. You guys did like 5K in less than 7 minutes. So you guys rocked it. All right, I'm going to hop off now. I just have a few more items to sticker for tonight. But I'll just give you what we have tonight. We have a couple different pendants. We have citrine is one of them. And then I can't remember what the other one is. It might be eucalyptus. I don't think it's rhodite. We do not have any, what is that? Acrylics tonight. I did not grab any acrylics. We have one 4mm size cube. We have some different shapes that we haven't had in a long time. We do have a teardrop. We have some smaller beads and glass. And there's one more thing, but I can't think what it is. So we have a total of 17 items. Those that are super fans will be able to comment and claim, and you will have a discount, and we'll tell you at the beginning of it what the discount is. So nope, not on subscribe or on super fan night. We don't do those. Silicone sales is when we would do stuff for pens, and we have that one on Thursday, I believe, this week, if I remember correctly. Go check the pinned post for the schedule. But we will be live at 8 p.m. for super fan night. Yep, you can watch the show if you are not a fan, but you just cannot claim. I am still looking for some more glow in the dark, Rachel. I haven't given up on that one. I keep looking. All right. All right, everybody. You guys all have a great afternoon, and we will see you back at 8 p.m. Bye. Thanks, Ashley.